Hey, I know, like, you know where I'm at, like, hey, Jeff, know I got you, brody. Look, hey, let's go, hey.
Wise.
Real life, real talk, never fall, we ain't doing that. Want me fall off, but I can't, I'm just too attached. I was so lost, I ain't going back. Never fall, never fall. We on the road, yeah, we on the road. Every day like the Olympics gon' go. Yeah. I'm in control, I thought you should know. Real life, real talk, never fall.
Okay, I'm not even gonna do a hey guys because I'm too rusty. So we're just gonna start talking. Hey guys, Harry, Shay, Chris.
Hey,
So just before, I'm just gonna address this because people like to, start rumors. No, we haven't fallen out with Denver. Denver's still my good friend. Denver will still be joining us on these. He was busy. Okay, he was busy today. But we do have the most jacked vegetarian that I know. IFBB Pro, Chris Tan. He's joining us for the first time. Welcome, brother. How are
thanks
you?
for having me. Good to be here. Yeah, doing well, doing well.
So he won his pro card. You guys already know, but he won his pro card last year. He since, what did you tear your bicep?
Yeah, I tore my
Yeah,
biceps tendon. Yeah.
tore his bicep, and we were just talking about his recovery, and he was just giving us a little update on it. So give us your update, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's been like almost 4 months now. Honestly, the first like couple months were a bit slow. Just because I had like some nerve stuff, like a palsy in my hand, just through my forearm. So my fingers were like pretty dead. My hand like my hand was like stuck like a claw, pretty much, and like
This
I,
was,
I
was this from
couldn't.
the surgery?
Yeah, from the surgery, and I couldn't move it for like a good while. Like it was pretty. I think that was like the scariest thing
Fucking hell.
about it. Yeah.
Did you have to do
But
exercises?
that's better now. Like I can open my hand now, which is good. The thumb still is like that's as high as the thumb goes compared to the other one, which like goes fully up. So that's a bit slower to come back, but apparently it's kind of the next thing. And honestly, like in the last kind of like 4 weeks, that's all come back really quite quickly. So it's kind of onwards and upwards from here, it feels.
What
That's
did
interesting
what
because
did
that's
they?
probably directly
Oh,
related to the surgery, right? Because
Yeah,
essentially that's got nothing to do with the bicep repair.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Somewhere along the line they've created some impingement or they've done something.
yeah.
did they
Yeah,
say
like
anything,
whether
bro?
it's
Like, did they say like why that? Like, did they give you any like reasoning?
yeah. So they did pre-frame it. They're like things like this can happen. Like it is a very small percentage. Um, but yeah, it's like it can be anything from just like the inflammation from the surgery itself, or it could be when they're just like moving stuff to the side to get through the bone. Um, they can just kind of clip something, or it can just be like the sheer amount of like scar tissue that's just there that'll kind of like put things to sleep. But they say, like most cases do resolve on their own, but it just takes time.
That's
Um, so
Okay,
I,
so they
I
reckon that with nerve damage, sorry to interrupt, but they
yeah,
say with nerve damage it can be as much as 18 months.
yeah.
When I tore my bicep, I tore everything.
Yeah,
Uh, and I couldn't feel that bicep for like almost exactly 18 months. And
yeah,
then all of a sudden I just started getting, I could see it moving and stuff, but I couldn't connect with it.
yeah.
And then all of a sudden it just sort of started to light up again. So, that's hopefully, you know what I mean? Like
well,
everything
I just
comes
think
back.
of Denver's like had that nerve damage with his like neck and stuff, and his whole left or right side, I can't remember. I think it was his left side atrophied, like it like really shrunk. Because he couldn't grip dumbbells. It was similar to what you're saying now. He was
Yeah,
telling me he couldn't grip dumbbells and like all sorts of stuff, and he had to do a whole lot of stuff to like just be able
Yeah.
to feel that side again.
yeah,
I never really like thought like much like I didn't. Obviously I like no nerve damage is bad, but I didn't like really think about it till I saw what happened to him and his
yeah,
experience. And so when you say that, it's like, well, fuck. Hopefully that's at least it's getting better.
yeah. I haven't seen like the difference on Denver's side of things, but like it was like it started to make sense. Like I obviously, like similar to you, I'd never thought about it before. But you know, because we train a lot, and then our thoughts on atrophy is just like, oh, you know, like you just take a few weeks off, or you know, go on a holiday or something like that, and you know, like that's the muscle loss we're used to.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like for this one, it was like there's actually like a physical inability to use that muscle at all. And I was quite shocked, really, like my hand as well, just like little muscles on my hand, like around, like in between my fingers and stuff, just look so much smaller on my left side than my right side. And it's like it's just because you physically can't move them.
Yeah, it's nuts, man.
You know? So yeah, I imagine if like from what happened with Denver's, that would like just that inability to actually fire anything through there would make
That's what it was.
pretty
Because
big
he told me he
changes.
was training, but he just couldn't fire that side. And it was funny because when I
Yeah,
saw the photos, I was like, if you actually cover the good side, that the small side was still a fucking really big bodybuilder. It's only when you look at the big side, it's like, okay.
yeah,
Did you do have you been I've kind of seen, but did you do with your training, did you keep training the good side?
yeah, I did.
Yeah, yeah. Do you think it
Yeah,
helped?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think at least for like coordination
yeah,
and like strength, because I'm back to training the bad side again. Like obviously not taking it like heavy or anything like that,
mm,
but just kind of starting the build up. Um, and like it feels. I don't know. I guess you never know because you can never like go back and not train the other side.
yeah,
But it feels like I've done some good by keeping the other side moving.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, they say
Yeah,
there's enough research to say it works.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Harry, bro? What have you been up to, man? Other than squatting the world, Uh,
Who?
what have you been up to?
You.
You?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, man. There's a little bit of a slow connection here. Well, just nothing, man. Just life, bro. Like, I'm a
You just,
powerlifter now,
yeah,
so
you just competed. Come on.
yeah, I did. Yeah, I
Put
sort
the
of had a
hand
bit of
up.
a bad day, really. I didn't hit the numbers I wanted. Sort of, I don't know. There's a bunch of reasons for that, but I still did the heaviest total of the day, so
What do
my
you
bad day is better than everyone's good day.
what what did you squat?
I only squat, honestly, man. I only squatted 280,
Yeah, and you were aiming to do like 310 or something, right?
330.
330.
So I squatted. I came out for the opener at 280, and I just like I don't know. I was too hyped up for something. I sort of just dropped real quick, and then I came up out of the hole, but I overbalanced backwards,
Mm.
and then had to do it again. And then I did it again. It was easy, but I tweaked my quad because just the way that I came down. So then when I went to put three, then I thought, oh shit, I'll just do 310 because I've already got the record on that federation at 300, so I didn't want to do that again. So I thought 310 I'll do. But I missed it, so it is what it is, bro. Like, and then the day took so long. By the end of it, by the time I got to deadlifts, my knee had stiffened up completely, and I kind of stiff-legged deadlifted 270, and then just left it at that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Have you
I
done
mean, but look, it wasn't my best total either. It was a bit of a dud of a meet to be competitively for me because you just only competing against yourself, you know, when you're at my age. But all in all, it wasn't too bad. Like, and I had a good sport crew, so it was nice. It was a great day. It was just unfortunate, but it is what it is.
What's your comp PB for deadlifts? Like recent,
My comp PB is only 280,
right?
and my gym PB is 305.
For 305.
So I
Right.
wanted to pull 310,
Yeah.
and I wanted to deadlift. I wanted to pull 310, and I wanted to squat 330, and then all I have to do is like a lame bench, and I'm at 800 total. Is what I wanted,
Are you gonna?
but I missed it. I
Are you
was 700 total. I was 100 kilos off.
gonna do another one?
Not till next year.
Because
So I think okay. So similarly to Denver and Chris, I have a nerve impingement on my neck that's killed my benching. So 1 week I was benching 180 for pause triples, and then the next week I couldn't bench 140, and then probably 3 weeks after that I couldn't bench 100. So I've been slowly rebuilding that. So now my bench is still back up to around like kind of 150, 160 mark, which is still lame. Like for me, that's terrible. So what it was is it was the nerve that feeds that right tricep isn't firing at 100%. So I'll put like a weight on and my left arm will fly, but the right arm just won't move. So I've had to, and I think because I did one meet, then another meet, then another meet, I didn't really give it a chance to recuperate. So I'm not going to do anything till next year. And I'm going to drop my body weight down to, I think 110. So I was competing in the 125s and very uncomfortable, like just a really uncomfortable body weight.
Will you compete at 110 next year?
After the meet, I was 127 or something. It was just, couldn't breathe, couldn't sleep.
Not
great. I was strong though.
Will you compete lighter next year, do you reckon?
Yeah, I think I'll compete at 110.
You probably still hit the same numbers, bro.
I reckon I will. I reckon I'll hit because I was going through some old footage and I watched a video of me like tripling 260 on a deadlift with, like 113 kilos. And that wasn't that long ago. So I'm like, okay, I'll do that again. I think the biggest mistake I made was since starting on this powerlifting journey, I got away from a lot of the bodybuilding movements that kind of bulletproof my body to be strong. Yep. And I just focused exclusively on the powerlifting movements, and I don't think that was actually the best thing that I could have done, because essentially I got as strong as I am training how I train, as a bodybuilder. So I deviated a little bit too far in the other direction, and then these other areas start to get weak, and I hadn't done an overhead press properly for like months and months. So I think when you start to lose all those stabilizers, things give out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro. Like,
yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I also think when you're maximal loading, shit's going to happen. So
a lot of powerlifters neglect all that, but it doesn't make sense, because bodybuilders are strong. Like, not all of them, but generally quite strong without actually training for strength. So it makes sense to do both, for sure.
Well, I think they also do what I decide, the reason I think that I'll still be just as strong in the low teens as I am at 125 fat kilos is that I don't leverage anything. I'm a high bar squatter, conventional deadlifter. I'm essentially a flat back bencher. So I don't really leverage. I'm not trying to maximize my levers to shift more weight. I'm just muscling everything all the time. So I'm like, well, that's what got me where I'm at. So why would I bother changing? I mean, like, I'm not like super strong, but I'm decent for an old man. So I might as well just stick with that, because I've got some big goals next year competitively with powerlifting. So I need to just make sure my body's 100%, but I'm nothing till next year.
Nice.
Going to get lose some weight and then get strong.
Yeah, bodybuilder.
Well, for a minute, I actually really enjoy. I miss it. I mean, did you do powerlifting? You did powerlifting, didn't you, Chris?
Yeah. Started in powerlifting.
Yeah, when you do powerlifting, you're not training. It's a different kind of training. And then lately I've been thinking, I'll start taking my sets to failure and doing a few more reps. Bro, I get past 6 reps, I'm dead.
Yeah.
This is exhausting. But it's been good to get actually just get a pump again, like a proper pump, and doing movements, sort of like feeling them rather than just loading. So yeah, it's kind of exciting again to train. So we'll see what happens. Maybe, who knows? Maybe I'll look halfway decent.
Who knows, bro? Who knows? What about you, Shay? What have you been up to? Tell the people.
You've had a busy year. Nothing that exciting, eh? Nothing that exciting. Oh, eat, sleep, work, train, repeat. I feel like
do like 1,000 pro shows a year.
Just deciding to, that's right. That happens.
Just like a robot, comp prep.
Yeah.
Just the longest existing prep, 10 months, and yeah.
Well, you look amazing. You look amazing, Shay. You've had an amazing year, and it's going to continue to be so.
I don't think people understand how hard it is to prep for that long properly, and not just prep that long, but do shows along the way. Like, it's one thing doing a long prep, but there's two, like doing a 4-month prep and then doing another prep and another, it's fucking hard.
I was definitely naive.
I've never done it.
I was definitely naive and thinking, it'll be fine. That's for sure. It was very
maintaining
hard.
I imagine that maintaining the discipline. I know that in the as a young man, when I would do like a nationals, and then I'd kid myself that I'd be able to just keep on going through to the Australasias, which was like nationals would be in like October or November, and then Australasias would be in March. I'm like, I'll just keep on going until that dude, it's impossible. I'm like, I'll put on a little bit of weight. No, I won't. I'm going to put on the usual 25 kilos. Maintaining the discipline and everything that you've done has been really amazing. But I guess, you've got the opportunity, so you have to take it while you can, Amazing.
Didn't have the choice, so kind of the
Yeah,
choice
yeah.
was made by having to
Yeah.
qualify for what
Yeah.
was the show that we, want to go to. So yeah, no, it was a really, really cool experience. But
If you say
yeah,
the name of the
sure.
show, it's not like saying the boogeyman name. You know what I mean? You can say it, which one you qualify for.
Oh yeah, sorry. What's it called? Ben Weeder.
Yeah, that's going to be
I
exciting.
feel like the person though that we need to really ask what's been going on is Jordan.
Me?
Yeah, well, I mean,
I feel
yes,
like
we do.
come on now.
I've been exploring. I found like it took me a long like you guys, all three of you kind of know like where I've been at with my own competing over the last like even prior to last time I competed. It's kind of was at the point where I was like, I'm not gonna keep doing this for much longer. This is not me saying I'm never gonna do it again, but it was kind of like, yeah. The problem is what happens with most guys is they stop, but then they start again because they don't find anything else. So I was lucky enough to fucking somehow find something else that I really, really enjoy, probably just as much. The only difference is you go from like kind of being all right at something, doing it for so long, to being like, fuck, I know absolutely nothing about this, and I'm gonna learn at 33 years old. But yeah, no, it's been good. I'm talking about kickboxing, obviously. You guys know that, but there's probably people watching this. They have no idea what I'm talking about.
Well, kudos to you, man. Like it's lots of people say they're going to do it. It's actually very hard to. I mean, I actually had this conversation with Chris some time ago
Yeah.
about talking about you.
It was when I was
And we
over
were
in
saying
Sydney.
like how hard it is to go from just like it's an idea and I'm going to punch the bags and look how cool I am to I'm going to get in the ring and fight a guy. Nobody, people can say whatever they want, but until you do that, you just got no idea what it's about.
Not just that, but like
and then watching you do the training, you weren't like going by halves, bro. You were going hard. So
the whole process is like even getting your body able to do it is hard. Like going from being a like 120 kilo heaps of muscle, like heaps of muscle from relatively speaking to a fighter, and then like getting your body move. Fuck, it was a process, man. It was hard, but like once you do it, it feels really good. And then there's
No, it feels really good. Like we were sitting right there. It didn't sound very good.
not the fight. I'm talking about the process.
Oh, far out.
Fighting's different. Fighting's like, it's like, fighting
It was
in the ring is like,
awesome, but
it's a really weird experience because you see someone opposite you that's literally trying to kill you, and you're trying to do the same. Like you're literally trying to kill each other, and like there's like fucking how many people watching? Like how many people were there? Maybe 500 people, and like
it was packed.
and you just don't, and nothing exists. You just see this bright light and this person in front of you, and you're like, okay.
Dawn.
The adrenaline rush.
It's funny too. Like I think that what you know, it's always funny to me because when I watch fighters, people that want to get into fighting train, and they do all of it. Which your coach was great. You didn't do anything fancy. So I see these people in the gym, and they're like, I'm getting bored with doing these. These same 3-4 things. But you're better off to be really good at those 3-4 things than to try 1,000 different things and be crap at all of them. So at least you stuck to your basics and you just hit it. You know what I mean?
Especially as a bigger dude, like you're not going to be doing, very like really we see a big guy doing fancy shit. It's usually the smaller dudes as well that are like can.
But it's just like you like what I liked is that when you were drilling, you were just kind of drilling. You were really drilling certain things that were useful that are actually going to work. Versus like, I often see people training and I'm like, what is this guy even doing that for? What's that about?
Yeah,
but,
he was big on,
it was good.
Making it realistic as possible.
You think it was great.
Yeah, I actually went to a new gym last week for the first time. It was a second week, sorry. Been there for 2 weeks now, just because it's local. Like I'm so busy with other things at the moment. I don't have the time to travel that far and train for as long. So I've just been going to this other gym, and we had the first sparring was on Thursday. Yeah, they're good. So the training's actually quite different. But it's good. It's good. It'll make me better. And the sparring is like another level. And there's so many people. So just having that, like sparring with people of that level, just that alone is going to make such a difference. So yeah, it's exciting. I'm just gonna keep going. I'm not trying to be the fucking world champion or anything. I'm just trying to get better. So yeah.
I mean, I guess it's keeping it. It's physically physically fit and mentally occupied, it's a good pursuit.
It's good to
Fight
feel
training's
too,
amazing.
because it actually makes me work better because I'm way more
Yeah.
energy, so I can use my
Yeah.
brain. It's yeah. As long as I
You're not you're not the fighting equivalent of the person who puts future IFBB pro in their bio.
No, I'm not gonna do that, bro. Future world champion.
Speaking of which,
Road to pro.
how many IFBB pro declarations have come out this year from New Zealand?
Okay.
Ah,
Yeah, I know. Speaking of that, we got the Auckland Champs on Saturday.
yes.
Yep.
It's looking like Auckland Champs is usually not the biggest show. Chris, you did it last year, eh?
Yep.
Yeah, so it's usually
Yeah,
like not that big because it's quite far away from nationals, but obviously they've grouped them up this year. So I reckon Auckland Champs going to be the biggest show out of them all. I think I could be wrong, but it will be up there. Quite a few pretty like I don't know everyone that's competing, but I've seen like obviously I've got some clients that are going to be very competitive nationally. So obviously we've got an expectation there. But at the same time, there's other people who I don't coach. You guys would have seen who are looking really fucking good. So it should be a good show. Is there anyone that has caught your guys' eye who is competing on the weekend?
I'm not sure who have you got in the so the only competitors I see are if they're I see some random ones, people that I follow on Instagram, but the only ones I really see is if you're coaching them or Denver's working with them. He's got some good guys, but I don't know how many of those are doing the Auckland show.
So Up is competing on the weekend.
Oh, bruh, that
And
guy.
yeah,
What the heck?
he's competing against Yuan. I think that's how you say his name.
Yeah.
And he's really good too. Last year at Nationals, Upper won the class. Casey came second, and Juan came third. But it was very, very close between the three. And Juan's made some good gains. If I put my bias aside, I'm always going to back my boy. Like even if I didn't, I'm still backing my boy. But I just think he's on another level this year. He's like he was already good last year. He's like mutated. I saw him 2 weeks ago in person. Shay, you saw him, and he was just like, bro, like his muscle was like I don't know how his muscle doesn't make sense. He looks crazy. Whereas Ryan, he's not as big, but he's got a crazy midsection, which for that class is really important. He's got really nice shape, really nice midsection. So that's his strength in that class.
Yeah.
But I actually, I mean, you say these things and you're going to upset people. It is what it is. For me, they're the two best. They're number 1 and 2 in my eyes. Yes, there are other really, really good men's physique athletes. There's like Casey. There's a bunch of them who, if they're on and these guys are a little bit off, it can change. But if everyone's on, they're my 2. Off the top of my head, I'm probably forgetting someone. Don't get offended, but just it is what it is. Only one person can win. So that's going to be a good battle. It's be interesting to see how they stack up. I tell them not to get too carried away with who wins regionals because it doesn't matter. Nationals is when it matters. But it is nice to get a win, especially if it's an overall.
I think Upper, like for me, for my money, Upper's condition, like they're all going to be conditioned, I'm sure, because that's the nature of that class. Everyone's pretty peeled. But his conditioning, he's just got that freakiness, whereas his conditioning is really, really super grainy, and the skin looks like freaking glad wrap. You know what I mean? His conditioning's off the hook. Like I'm sure that there'll be other guys in that class that'll have comparable conditioning, but some guys he just looks crazy this year. I think he's looked good before, but just from what I've seen, he just looks ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like his conditioning is off the hook.
He's so much taller than most of the men's physique competitors, right? So to have that presence against that tall as well, when he filled out like that, he looked absolutely insane the other week.
Well, he's about 4 kilo heavier than last year, and he's harder.
Yeah, he's crazy. That's crazy.
And he doesn't train legs. So think about it. And his legs aren't small, but like the muscle, what I'm saying is that the muscle hasn't gone there. So it's gonna, I mean, we'll see. There's still work to do. There's also, I'll show you guys. I'll share my screen,
Let's have a look.
Let me, here we go. This guy is doing, so this guy goes to Wolf sometimes. He's doing open bodybuilding. It's his first comp. Bro, he's huge. He is huge. He's like 5'7" at 98 kg at the moment. Where's a better photo? Keeping in mind these are
This is first show.
it's his first prep. It's his first prep.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
12 weeks out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, yep. He's huge. He's bigger. This doesn't do him justice, in my opinion. So
Yeah. Awesome.
You say he's 5'7" and 97 kilos. I'm like, yeah, that's big.
Yeah.
Especially if he's in crazy condition.
and very, very,
Wow.
very, very complete. I mean, who knows what condition he'll be in? This is recent. Who knows? Who knows? We won't know till the day. I'll talk to him a little bit. I hope he's, at the same time, it's his first prep, so let's, I don't want to be too like,
Guess, yeah.
we'll see. But yeah, it's fucking. Whew. I'm trying to think of any other guys off the top of my head that are like there or thereabouts. I've got a natural guy who looks nutty, but he's doing the naturals. So his name's Keegan. You would have seen me post him.
Oh, yeah.
He's doing classic physique. He's looking really good, like crazy transformation. He's really when like the natties get peeled and it's just like different, eh? Like the
Yeah.
like the it's like Shay's delts when she does her quarter turn. You see all the striations in her shoulders and shit. It just looks
This one.
Because there's no oil in them.
Not this
yeah,
one.
no oil, no water.
Yeah, I've got a guy doing. I've got a guy competing in a few weeks over here, and very deceptive because you look at him in the gym in a t-shirt, and he's a little bit taller than me. He doesn't really look like that much, but then he'll take his shirt off, and you'll be like, oh shit, he looks good, and then he'll like flex, and everything is straighted.
Yeah.
Like everything, I'm like, oh, okay, that's that. What do I need to change, Harry? Just keep going, Greg. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
maybe you should be coaching me. But he's crazy, and it's a different look, isn't it? Like it's a different look because when they're not trying to find 1,000 spots to pin themselves, the cuts all look a bit cleaner.
Yeah, I do agree with that. Oh, yeah.
The girls are.
And I also think they don't have that. Like, I mean, even if that's not the case, but when you see the guys like the non-tested guys, often their muscles are a little bit bloated, so they can have all that the separation but they don't have all that fine conditioning because they're just a little bit bloated. You know what I mean? Like the muscles are overfull.
Yeah, the girls are looking pretty. The girls is looking pretty stacked too. I don't know if you guys have paid much attention. I've got a few girls competing this weekend. Tui is competing.
That's right.
Oh, she's very good. Yeah, she's amazing.
Really good. She's really like improved since last
She
time.
nailed it.
I've got a girl with Renee doing first timer. She's looking really good, and I've got a couple who are competing in a WFF. But in terms of NZFB, that's my team for this weekend. But yeah, there's a few. I think Barbara. I don't know if you guys know Barbara. She's been in bikini. She'll be really good. It's going to be stacked. It's going to be stacked. Like the classes will be. Yeah, they're going to be good. There's two shows though. There's the naturals and then there's the open. So it's going to be a long day. Especially when like majority of the naturals do the open as well. So it's like it's going to be a little bit repetitive in that sense, but it is what it is.
How far away from this one are the next ones? Like, so when's
every week? They're literally every week.
Wellington?
So it's Auckland, then the next weekend's Wellington, the next weekend's South Island, and then I think it's a week off, and then it's
because of the
and then Waikato, and then Nationals.
Yeah.
And then there's the Tournament Champions and Mosho. So it's like every weekend bar one. There's comps. It's going to be
good.
And then there's all the other federations as well. It's going to be
It's
going to be
well, they just had an ICN show there, didn't they?
Last
yesterday.
Yesterday, yeah.
It was in Christchurch. It was here. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, and there was WNBF last weekend, I think.
Last Saturday.
Yeah.
Oh, was it the WFF?
WFF was last weekend as well.
Yeah.
On the FMG as well.
We're just starting to get into comp season here. Everyone's competing.
Yeah.
We're doing all the state titles are coming through. Every weekend now is going to be like a different state title in Australia, and then culminates in the nationals.
Yeah. Oh, they had one yesterday and today, right? Was it?
Yeah. There was an ICN today in Oz. Yeah.
Yeah. So traditionally we do shows on Sunday.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Whereas you guys do it on Saturday.
Yeah.
I was going to do
it's definitely the season.
I was going to do like a prediction thing, but I don't want to do it because You know, like you always forget someone, and then it just, yeah, we're not going to
Yeah.
do predictions. We're just going to leave that out.
I don't know if it's like just people on social media as well. A lot of people aren't speaking like and actually saying. I don't know if it's just this year of just what I've seen. People are in prep, but not really saying what show. A lot of people
Yeah.
that I've seen.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
doing a show, but I don't know which one.
I mean,
So it's kind of hard to say.
I've had clients unsure. Like we've been like, okay, you're like, I reckon you can do this show. And they're like, oh, I'm not confident. I'm gonna decide closer to the time. I might do the one after, whatever. So that can be why as well.
Well, maybe they're trying to surprise everybody.
Come out and yeah.
No surprise, bro.
Yeah.
You got to be good if you're going to surprise them.
I know. And not like, yeah, anyway. I want to talk a little bit about training. The reason I want to talk about training is because Chris is on, and I actually have been wanting to have this conversation with you anyway. So we may as well have it here.
Right.
Prior to your injury, so let's go back in time. Obviously you've made really fucking impressive improvements over the last few years. And a lot of your training's been full body, right?
Yep.
So either full body or upper lower for the most part, would you say?
Pretty much. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so obviously I know like it's like, frequency and all that kind of stuff, but can you like break it down a little bit? We'll start with the full body. The reason is like I understand it, but it's not something I would typically lean towards.
Yeah.
Not to say like, obviously it works. Look at your living proof that it works, but it's I'm noticing it's getting popular now. And I don't think people really get it. So yeah, just break it down a little bit.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. It's I know it's funny because I think you and I had this conversation where it's like I've been doing it for a long time, and it's like yeah in kind of the past I would say like 6 months to a year it's probably picked up even more in popularity, and now I'm just like another guy on the full body training train. It's like as if I wasn't doing it already. Everyone's just like, oh, like, oh, I see that on TikTok a lot now.
It's
Like,
with JP.
I'm like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like JP, and now, yeah, like a lot of other people. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I really enjoy it. But again, I think that's probably one of the underrated things about training is do something you enjoy. Because there are so many different ways to progress. But my thought as well was like, I didn't really feel like, and now kind of it's changed a bit, but when I was going from like men's physique to classic / open, I was like, cool, like everything is a weak point. You don't need to be like specifying what you're working on exactly, like just hit everything, get better at everything, like in the, in those kind of like, not like the 5 and below rep ranges, but kind of anything beyond that, and just make progress. And over time, put the food in, see your lifts go up, you will get bigger. And that's pretty much what started it for me. And I haven't really seen a slowing or like a ceiling to the progress, apart from the injury now, that's kind of slowed things down. But the things that aren't injured are still progressing as fast as I would want them to progress. So I'm pretty much just not really changing too much.
And why would you lean towards that over like a push-pull legs?
So I mean, like, it's push-pull legs for me. If I did like push-pull legs rest, push-pull legs rest in that 8-day period, let's say for legs, for example, I have 2 opportunities to kind of like push those sessions up and improve. Whereas if I'm doing like full body rest across like an equivalent 8-day period, I've got 4 sessions that I can be like, cool, like 4th session is going to be bigger than the 3rd session, is going to be better than the 2nd, is going to be better than the 1st. And that's also kind of where I think Oh, have you got like less than a minute on the meeting? We might need to.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to re-add you, but you guys, because my upgrade to the pro is expired. I didn't know.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to send you another link, and we'll reset.
Yeah.
It's gonna save, and then yeah.
Should we do that now and then?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Okay. Where were we? Push-pull legs versus full body.
Full body.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I was saying like in that like 8 day period, if I'm doing like full body 4 times per week, 4 times, sorry, in that 8 days, then that's like 4 sessions that I have an opportunity to push my lifts up in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, to me, just, while I can still, well, like it seems like I can, session to session be putting, even if it's just like a 1 kilo increment on that lift, like I'll take it, and if I just keep that going for as long as possible, then I feel like that's going to pay off.
How do you find
Pretty
recovery on those days? Because those sessions are ruthless, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely a lot more used to them now. I think a big part of it as well is like I feel like physically recovery is fine. Given like I don't do a lot of sets, as in per muscle, because if I was doing full body and still doing like, as many sets as everyone does with like push pull legs, for example, those sessions would take me so long to finish. But like I might do like 2 to 3 direct working sets for a muscle group in a single session sort of thing. Like across that whole session, it still adds up to like, I don't know, 20 to 25 total sets. Which is probably, what people get when they do like a body part split, maybe somewhere in that ballpark.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think physically I'm pretty good. And mentally was one of the things where it's like, you have a session, then 2 days later you're like, am I going to do that same session?
Mm.
I think that's the thing that was a bit harder to kind of like get over at first. But the solution to that is if you need to, you can have like an A session and a B session and just have like different lifts you're focusing on.
The idea is as long as they're going up, right? Like,
Yeah. But having said that, like the gym that I train at, it's a Flex Fitness in Takapuna, and that gym owner, like he just buys really good pieces of equipment. Like he recently got like a new hack squat in there, and I used it for the first time on yesterday, and like I'm so excited to go in again tomorrow just to do the exact same shit that I did yesterday.
he's been like
Like,
that since he opened that gym. He's always
yeah,
he's
yeah.
Yeah. The reason I asked you all this is because I've been doing full body sessions.
Yeah.
It's obviously a little different. I think I do about 8 exercises, but I do 3 working sets per exercise.
Yeah.
But it's RP 8.
Yeah,
So
okay.
nothing's to failure. And it's like obviously it's more explosive and it's not as I'm not lifting like a bodybuilder. This all gets
Yeah.
programmed for me. I don't program this stuff myself because I wouldn't know how. But yeah, I do that, but it's only once a week, and then I only lift 3 times a week. The other 2 sets, well, at the moment it's a bit different, but prior, the other 2 sessions were like accessory day and like a kind of like a like jumping and twisting and all that kind of shit. So yeah, but I found like it would take me about 2 to 2.5 hours to finish that session, and I'd be like
Yeah.
exhausted after, like fucking
Yeah.
because it's like deadlifts, hip thrusts, squats, bench press, barbell row, like it's all compound, like it's not there's no isolation, but yeah, nah, it all makes sense. It all makes sense. I mean,
That was a
training. There's so many ways, right?
Yeah.
Well, that was the question I was going to ask with your everyday workout selection. Do you still do all the big compound movement? Like, you're still doing barbell and free weight movements so that all those ancillary muscles are working? So, like, I can imagine that if you were training, like, sort of fixed line machine work mostly, probably the recovery wouldn't be too bad. But I would feel like if you were barbell squatting and then barbell deadlifting and right with it unsupported where you're using all these ancillary muscles, I don't know how the recovery would be but that's just because I've not really done that style of training. I mean, everybody starts off with a 3 day a week full body workout, or at least I did. But you see very quickly the loading and the stress on the nervous system becomes the problem. As you try to do everything, get stronger and stronger and stronger over time, it becomes much harder to maintain that. But then I guess that's a big mental game. I also feel like a lot of a person's ability to recover from that, a lot of it's down to how switched on they are to their recovery, rest times, and then there's a genetic component. Because I know that you don't slack when you train. I've seen you train like a demon. There's no there's no, you always seem to me to be going 100%, the work sets that you do are flat out work sets. So, I was just wondering about the exercise selection.
Yeah.
You're cracking, Harry.
First of all, I think there's something going on with your mic. I did hear everything you said, but you might need to mute yourself and then unmute, see if that helps.
It was fine before, just now.
Try again.
How's that?
That's better.
Fix it.
Cool. Easy. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, the old turn it off and turn it on again. So I think exercise selection does make a huge part of it. I mean, to me, how I would describe it is choosing more stable exercises. Obviously not going I don't know. I've seen all this stuff on Instagram and TikTok about these science-based trainees doing all this stability stuff where they're cuffing and banding. Yeah, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, obviously there's such thing as it being obsolete after a certain point. But I think find a well-designed machine that moves the way you would want it to move to train that muscle, and then get strong on that machine. I would do machine presses and stuff like that rather than barbell pressing now. That hack squat to me, just how exhausting a barbell squat is on everywhere else, just apart from your quads as well. If you can take that balance side of things out of it and a lot of the bracing, and just jump on a good hack squat, I think that's going to be a huge part of what I do for my quads for the kind of the next year, foreseeable future.
We've with Shay's training, we've changed it a bit, not to full body stuff, but much higher frequency for certain body parts. So very similar concept to what you're saying, being very, very strategic with what movements are when, how much is done on each day, down to the 7 sets or 6 or 5, that, because they're so close. And it's all the same, pretty much the same thinking as what you're saying. The reason we did it the way we do, I just like a little bit more volume on specific days, and that wouldn't be possible if that was every 2 days. And I also wouldn't want to just completely go from doing high volume training to it's too much of a, in my opinion, it's not something you would I mean, you could, but at the level she's competing at, and because she's in prep, you wouldn't want to go from completely, especially when something's working already, flipping it on its head. But it's the same exact principles as what you're saying, and also getting even more specific with execution. I've seen your training; it's textbook. Every movement is executed perfectly. Sometimes I've sent your training to people before. You don't know this, but because I feel there's a line, and I feel some people are just too loose, and then I think some people are too the other way, and they end up using no weight. I feel you're the perfect combination of the two, with the control, but also not still going heavy, and you know what I mean? But I think that's really important in general, but more so when you're only doing 2 sets for a body part. bro, you're doing
Yeah.
two sets. Like they can't be shit. You can't not use the right muscle, or you're not going to grow. So
Yeah.
it does add a bit of that. When you're doing high frequency stuff, I think I don't want to say it's more important because it's always important, but yeah, I think like when you're doing higher volume, some people can get away with, especially if they've got it like good genetics, they can get away with being a bit loose because they're doing so many fucking sets that um the chest is gonna get fried.
Mm.
Whereas if you're only doing 2 or 3 sets, but I mean obviously you're doing more throughout the week, but yeah, it's I think that's really important. I think that's where a lot of people miss. A lot of people go wrong. And yeah,
Yeah, I've had
When
that
you
big. Like at the moment, I'm trying to change back to feeling muscles working instead of just powering through movements.
Mm.
And it's quite a change, but it's
same,
great.
bro.
Like I'm really enjoying it because it'll give me some. I'm significantly stronger than I was say 12 months ago. So now I just need to. So all I'm doing is, well, actually, I've had a bit of a break. I'm just going to start pushing again. But when I start this next push, I'll be back to more hypertrophy training, but with greater loading. You know what I mean? So hopefully that'll equal some more gains. Who knows? Could happen.
I'm
But yeah,
sure.
like I
I'm
think
sure it will.
it's going to. It's definitely going to. But execution's key, right? Like, and I think that with Shay as well as with Chris, same as your training, Jordan. Like I think people, but to me, execution with loading is key, not just execution, and obviously not just loading, but if you can execute with loading and then constantly increase that, even if it's small increments, all of that stuff equals gains. And the period of my life when bodybuilding was the thing that I solely did, that's exactly how I looked at it. Just no, form always the same, and then just push to get more reps, more weight.
Yeah.
It's that's how we trained like 30 years ago. It hasn't changed since. You know what I mean? Like those things are just steadfast and they hold. But yeah.
Then I
Because
think
I often get
as you get more
gross on
experienced as well, you start to learn like you'll learn your body, and you like I know for me,
specifically for you.
there's specific
Yeah.
movements where I have to go lighter than most
Yeah.
people would, and like relatively speaking, because if I go heavy on it, it will just feel like shit. And then I've got other movements where I can fucking redline them, and then I've got all the other things that I just stay in that spot we
Yeah.
were talking about. You just learn that, but that takes a lot of time.
It does. And at the end of the day, even if you can't go as heavy on something like, if for me, I have to be a bit better with my back training. Well, I still try to get stronger. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, I can't like throw it, but I've still got to try to get stronger in the rep ranges that I want to do. I've still got to try to get stronger, even if it's, if I'm using a 10 kilo dumbbell and someone else is using a 60 kilo dumbbell, it doesn't matter. If that 10 kilo dumbbell turns into a 30 kilo dumbbell, I'll make that appreciable gain. The weight is kind of irrelevant in comparison to someone else. It's just your own. It's what it is for you.
Yeah.
So as long as you're making progress there, that's the key.
I think, like, to be honest, you can also see when someone trains, like, you can see it in their body when they train well, and they train hard, and they train heavy. Someone just came into my mind. I forgot to mention him before. He's competing on the weekend, Aaron. But, like, he's so fucking grainy, and he's so, like, he's not old, but his muscles so dense and thick, and, like, it's just got that look. You just know. Like you already know how he trains just by the physique. Whereas a lot of the people that trains really light and stuff, there's nothing to them, and it's like a soft, like
Yeah.
you can see it. You can see it. So yeah. I post Aaron, hang on. See if you guys can see.
Oh, yeah, I've seen this guy.
Yeah, bro, like look like
He looks crazy.
He's gonna.
Yeah.
He was sorry. This is the thing for Aaron. He was in Chris's class last year.
Yep.
And this year he's in the guy's class that I just showed you guys. So he has the hardest. He's always in the hardest class. I think he's weighing in like 90. He was 94 this morning, but he had a high carb day the day before, so he was like 92 prior to that. So he'll probably be around this weight for comp day. But yeah, he's gonna be. It's one of those guys that just looks like freaky, like one of the guys everyone's like, "Whoa, fuck." But yeah, anyway,
Yes.
there was one more thing I was going to get into, but I think we'll skip it. We'll save it for next time, because there was a few questions. And there was a few good ones. There's some that I'm not going to get into because, like, we've already talked about this stuff. Like, we don't need to talk about advice of first timers because we've done that. Go look at the old videos. We've done that. It's boring. There's some good questions though. So you guys have all coached, well, you all coach and you've coached plenty of people. This is I haven't really thought about this too much, but there's a lot that comes to my head. I guess go one at a time, but favorite and least favorite parts of coaching. I mean, fuck, we could do a whole episode on this. But if we were to, yeah, you guys go before me. Harry,
You go, Shay.
Harry, you go.
No, Shay, you go.
You've
Yeah,
been doing
Harry.
it- You've been doing it the longest, bro.
Okay. Favorite part. I really just enjoy my favorite part of coaching is transforming somebody completely in a way that sometimes they don't even have that expectation that they're going to be able to do. So, for example, when I coached Jen, through to those comps, I feel like I had kind of like an idea of how that was all going to turn out. And then as we got closer to it, I feel like the way that she looked and the way that she thought she could look were two completely different things. So her expectation of result and her actual result was so different. She was like, oh, as long as I don't look stupid up there, da-da-da-da. So I get so much joy out of that part. The transformation, regardless of the contest outcomes, that's not the big deal. It's more the transformation aspect of it and really sort of showing somebody what they can achieve. So I enjoy that. And my least favorite part of it is listening to them complaining. It's a simple one.
I
You know
love
what I mean?
that.
Like it's hard. You got to walk. You got to handhold a little bit, but yeah, there's a limit to how much handholding you want to do, and all the garbage that goes around. I guess probably even more so is all the garbage that goes around coaching. Like you send your client goes off and gets a posing coach, and then that posing coach just spends the whole time telling them how bad you are as a coach, and you should work with their coach, and all that kind of stuff. It's all of that little snipey little crap that I find. It's just a little bit lame, but it is what it is. That's the game.
Yep. Shay?
I think because I coach probably more early stages, like it's probably how like I really enjoy, again, same thing as Harry, getting to see their process and seeing them accomplish something that they really want to accomplish that maybe they don't think they could have. And it's nice to be on the other side of it sometimes, and I enjoy that, like to kind of look at it through a different lens and watch it unfold and be able to reflect it back to how you are as an athlete as well. I learn a lot from my clients and how they go through it, which is quite cool. Least favorite, to be completely honest, is the same thing as being coaching first timers, is managing people's reverses. That's the post show. I don't like that because I feel like as a coach, if you don't have a client that buys into the process, that it's not done when you walk off stage, it's a very challenging part of it. And then you end up cleaning up the tears when things have gone really, really wrong afterwards because they haven't really done that part. So I don't like managing the post show if someone's not diligent with it.
Yep.
Fair.
I can relate to all of this. Chris?
Yeah, well, I mean, I haven't coached a huge number of people. It's kind of never something that I saw myself doing. Like
You have coached, or
on a-
you've coached
on a
what
big-
you've coached people. I've seen you guys you've helped. Like it's legit. So you've got some experience here, bro.
Yeah. But I think all the same. Like I do. I mean, I just love training and bodybuilding. Like I love the lifestyle of this kind of things, and so being able to kind of like share that passion with someone else, and then especially when you've got like someone who's just like really coachable, it's just like it just doesn't feel like work. It just feels like you're kind of like sharing your passion with someone else, and they're just eating it all up, and then it all comes together, and those are the journeys that like just look unreal by the time they get on stage. I think that's my favorite part. It's kind of like sharing that love for the sport and having that be received by someone who really wants to be there and who wants to receive it. And I think contrary to that, like on the other side of it, um, people who like they're paying you for a service, but they're not buying into that service. They're just kind of like just not doing anything. And it makes it tough because it's like what can you do about that? Like, do you just keep watering down the process to make it more adherable to them, or do you trust them that, because at the end of the day, like, this reflects on you as a coach as well. So yeah, I always found that quite difficult. Um,
You end up, it
yeah.
gets a little bit uncomfortable because you end up reading check-ins like from the same person, and you end up
Mm,
like not knowing what to like. I can't do anything with this plan because you're not following it, and then it just becomes awkward
yeah.
because it's like
Yeah.
it's uncomfortable. But you just said something, man. Like it reflects on you, and you don't want like if you take pride in your work, you care about that. I saw a video the other day from a coach here, and he basically said like if you're, it's a red flag if your coach says um based something along the lines of, I can't remember the exactly what was said, but it was something along the lines of like if you're cheating on your plan and your coach mentions like it's going to affect their reputation, it's a red flag. And for me, it's like, sorry, what's wrong with wanting to have a high standard for your work? It's like being an
Yeah.
artist. Like to me,
Yeah.
that's just a loser mentality, and that's just something you say to try and, look at me, I'm such a nice guy. I'm going to get all the clients, come to me, like we'll
Yeah.
figure it out. Yeah.
That's what he's doing.
Mm,
And you need to, yeah, you need to figure shit out, and like you need to have conversations. And if you can, sometimes for some people, you need to take a different approach. I understand that, but I think there's nothing wrong with having pride in your work and wanting to display something at a level that you're happy with, just like anyone else would in any other profession. Um, yeah, I like if someone's cheating on their plan, lean into a show constantly, I'm not going to let them get on stage with everyone knowing that I prepped them, because they're not going to go out and say, oh, I cheated every week. They're going to go, Jordan coached me, and that's why I look like this. Because it's
yeah.
happened before. They don't, the people, I've had pros cheat on their fucking diets in peak week, and they don't say anything. They like, oh, they just go get a new coach and you're shit. And it's happened with, that's how it happened with two. And yeah, you're like this useless coach, but then really in reality, you're like, well, if you actually had just done what I needed you to do, yeah. Anyway. I get it, bro. I get it. For me, the best part for me is probably it's definitely working with people long term. So when you've worked with someone for like a few, not long, couple years, and you see the growth in their like approach. So for example, I've had people who started out and they would like just like in their mind it's okay to like have chocolate bar every couple of days and like extra things like that. And then they, get a bit, start learning more about bodybuilding and get a bit stronger mentally, and they stop, and then and they just turn into the perfect client. And then they start doing really well. And then all of a sudden they are winning shows, winning nationals, and all that kind of stuff. Just seeing people that go really hard do well. But for me, it's so rewarding. Yeah, yeah, I love it. Like I know it sounds like duh, but I just find it really, really rewarding when when you've been part of that we all kind of said the same thing, but when you've been part of that process and you see them not just get rewarded for it, but you see the work in front of you. Like you see the physique, you're like, fuck. Sometimes you're like, fuck, you look nuts. Like, like how did we do this? That Shay, it was like that last year at when we were in America. It was like we're doing the peak, and I started to get to the point where I was like, this looks fucking crazy. Like, what the fuck? But that's how it is, and it's like it's real rewarding. And then like you place really well, and then same as like nationals, like Hale, Nicole did like, and it's not all about winning because obviously everyone's at the level they're at. But when I say winning, I mean like. So for some people, that's winning in novice class, but just knowing that they like actually gave everything they have and they got rewarded for it, it's really cool. To me, I get more fulfillment from someone winning or doing well at a lower level, but knowing that like they poured their heart and soul into the process, than someone who's got good genetics and won did really well, won their nationals, whatever, but they were like half out. They cheated like 3, 4 times, and they got away with it because their genetics allowed them to. To me, that's not really rewarding. It's like it's cool, we won, but it's not. I'm not like, oh, that's fucking amazing to be a part of. Yeah, and for me, the worst part. I'm not going to act like there's only one. There's a lot of parts of coaching I dislike strongly. And the longer I do it, the more I'm aware of them. But the worst part for me is when you put like so much of yourself into everyone you work with. And obviously, some people get more than others because take they like you get what you ask for with coaching a lot of the time. So if you never talk to your coach, you're not going to get the same level of service as someone who does. It's just the way it is. But what I mean is when you're giving so much of yourself to all these people, and then kind of like every year, there's a few people that you just don't have a good experience with, and it's not always bad, but sometimes it can get bad, and it's just like they kind of give you a fuck you when really all you did was your best. You know what I mean? Even if it didn't go the way they wanted to, or maybe it did. Just people in this industry like to shit on people. If as soon as they're not getting, no longer getting
Yeah.
what they want from them, they just shit on them. And it's, oh God, like I'm not talking about anyone in particular. This has happened with so many people over the years. So many people, so many people. And it's like, fuck, like I really really put in so much of my time, so much of my effort, so much did so much more than I needed to for what I was being paid for. Like I went above and beyond. And there was a little small part of my career where I was like fed up with it. And I was like, fuck, I'm gonna stop doing all those extra things because it just keeps happening and it's affecting me. It's like it's making me not want to do it anymore. And it didn't last long because I was like, that's not me. Like, fuck, I'm in or I'm out, you know? So yeah, it is what it is. I just know now, like it happens and get over it. Like it's gonna happen. It's not gonna last time, it'll happen again. And you know, anyone with any experience in coaching, this has happened to you. So I'm not, it's not a pity party. Oh, poor me. Like, this is just part of the game, man. Like you coach a lot of people, especially bodybuilders. A lot of competitors are entitled people. They are. A lot of them are good people, but a lot of them are entitled, and it's easier to get that way when you're so tunnel vision on a goal, and like your whole goal is about how you look. It's easy to see how it becomes like that,
Yeah.
so it can lead to that kind of behavior. But yeah, that is a shitty part of the job. But
And yet we've all been in that mindset, right? Like we've all four of us here have been in that mindset of like tunnel vision. I mean, Chris and Shay are right there.
of
And
course,
yet they're not doing that. They're not playing that game. So it's kind of like, I feel like those people. So, you know, I mean, obviously I've been at this for a really long time. And I remember being in my 30s and being so enthusiastic and doing all of those things. And I tell you, like now, I'll start working with somebody. And if it's just not really panning out, and I'm almost immediately, I'm like, you know what, I'm probably not the coach for you. But it's because it's not my full time situation. But if I feel like these things are happening really early on because I start to see the signs, I'm like, you know, probably I'm not I'm not going to have an argument with the client about the foods they're eating or how much food I'm giving them. It's pointless because, as Chris was saying, what do I do? Do I water it down so much? Well, when you water it down, you don't get the result that you want.
Yeah.
And I think with, you know, if I'm doing a lifestyle plan, sure, you know, I can give you that just chocolate, whatever you want. But if I'm doing a bodybuilding comp prep, I can't do that. So I'm just like, well, no, well, then maybe you can find somebody who'll, and then, you know, you have to be like, in order to not have to, because of the same way that you invest so much, I think I used to invest. So, and I still do. If I'm working with somebody, I'm very much invested in their process. But there's a little bit for me of them having to show me that they're really involved. And if that's not happening, I'm like, yeah, if your check-ins are coming, you know, once every month, and I'm like, that's not working for either of us. You probably need to not just start giving that money to somebody else because my conscience, I can't take that money. You know what I mean? Because you could do it, but I'm like, nah. Plus, you know that what they're going to put together isn't going to be something that you're going to be, that as a coach, you're going to be happy with. So I just let them go. If I get if I don't feel like that it's working, I just move away from it. But I mean, I think that's just because of where I'm at in my life as well. You know what I mean?
I think you need to be mentally there as a coach. You need to be mentally invested, genuinely,
I think so. Yeah.
to do a good job. And that's why there's so many coaches. Like there's so many coaches. We're not going to name them, but we know so many that are not mentally invested, and that's why they provide a piss poor service. Like They never reply. They never send the update. They like the clients want the work. The clients are sending the shit in, but they're not getting a response. And it's like that's just a coach that's not mentally invested in what he's doing or what she's doing. And there's plenty of people. There's plenty of people like that. But part of having like it's and that's from looking at it one side. But then the other side is okay. If you want your coach to be mentally invested, the best thing you can do if you're listening to this is just work hard and send your chickens on time, send them every week or as often as they require, and like do the basics right. And if you do that, if you have a half decent coach, they're gonna get excited about it because they're gonna see the progress and they're gonna try their best. It's a two-way thing. It's a two-way thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
The athlete also has to be that same level of invested into what the coach is telling them, because I think so often the grass is always greener concept comes in way too much, and then you're jumping from coach to coach to coach to potentially find that void of what you want rather than buying into a coach's process. Because every single time you jump from coach to coach, you're asking a new person to learn your body, to understand your body instead of writing it out. You know, like Jay, what we've been 4 years, couldn't even think about jumping to somebody else and saying, "Hey, Merry Christmas, learn my body." That's a 6 month period of somebody having to start again, and then you're going to jump ship to another one and jump ship to another one. Like as an athlete, you've got to buy into the coach's process as well, and the grass isn't greener just because they're telling you something you might not want to hear.
Yeah, yeah. I sometimes get people sign up with me for preps and like tell me what they're gonna do. Like still,
Yeah.
I've prepped a lot of people. They tell me what they're gonna do. Like they literally on the phone telling me, "Hey, I'm gonna do this, this, this," and I'm like, "Fuck, I don't think this is gonna work."
This ain't working.
No, that's not how this works.
First phone call.
You know, and those people are the same ones that ring you up complaining about the current person they're working with, like how their current coach sucks and doesn't know anything and do anything wrong.
Coach yourself then. If you think you know, coach yourself.
Yeah, hard. We'll do one more question. I've got heaps here. We'll save them, but we'll do one more. I think this is a good one to end on. It's one that we will talk about all day. But what's the best lesson you've learned through bodybuilding? Fuck, I know.
Serious,
I'm
bro.
throwing this on you guys out of nowhere. Best lesson you've learned from bodybuilding. The thing is with bodybuilding, it teaches you so much if you do it properly. Like you can literally, you know what's funny though? Tangent. A lot of bodybuilders say like, oh, I'm gonna like you can, transform your body and you can apply that to any area of your life. But so many of the people that say that do fuck all outside of bodybuilding. I'm just like, bro, what are you talking about, brother? But it's so true though.
Yeah, so what I would say, like for me, the thing that I would say I've learned the most from bodybuilding actually probably isn't related to the ins and outs of nutrition and training and all that kind of stuff. I think the most important thing that I've learned is that if you invest the time in relationships, they will pay you back tenfold. And I'm pretty sure that is across all of life, right? But specifically in bodybuilding, because that's the the path that I took as a young guy. The relationship, you meet lots of people. I always try to be polite, for the most part, respectful and friendly and approachable, and those things pay you back a million times over in life, in the most sometimes random and unusual ways. So yeah, I think that would be the thing that I've learned the most. And I think that just to be open-minded, and not just open-minded about what you're doing with your training or any of that bodybuilding related stuff, but just to be open-minded in life, so that you can you're not coming at people with so much of a predetermined attitude. And I think part of that is because in bodybuilding you're meeting people from every walk of life that have all these different lifestyles, different attitudes, this and that, but you're sharing a common goal, right? So you can bond. I guess I learned that you can bond over a common goal. That was mine.
That's a good one. Shay?
Look at us. Look at us four. We're all so completely different, and yet here we are. If we saw each other on the street, we'd high five, have a chat.
Pretty much.
Probably just one. There's so many, of course. You said I think a lesson for me is you just can't hide from hard shit. Like when the end goal is a very exposing end goal, you can't hide from it. You've got to figure it out. You've got to navigate your way through it and deal with it. And yeah, you can't run away from it because what you're doing at the end, if you're, I guess it depends on your mentality and what you want out of it, of course, but yeah, you can't hide from the shit that goes wrong. You've got to work your way through it, navigate it. It's not always going to be good, and everyone I think expects life to be box of fucking candy and shit. But yeah, just
Yeah.
learn how to deal with hard shit and not run away from it, probably.
That's a good one.
Chris?
Yeah. No, I kind of want to circle back to what you mentioned, Jordan, about like, yeah, well, it's kind of like you have to go into it because like first of all, like yes, it takes a lot of discipline to put your body through what you put it through to get to get on stage, all of that kind of stuff. But I think you have to still take the lessons and apply them elsewhere if you actually want to, you know, get somewhere else in these other avenues of life. Because yeah, I mean, as you said, Jordan, there are people who are like, will say, this is the most challenging thing I've ever done in my life, all that kind of stuff, and then they just don't do any other challenging stuff in their life. And yeah, I think it like I think I've talked to Harry about this when I was over in Sydney, but it's kind of like that. That you hear a lot of people being like, oh, like the gym is my therapy, all this kind of stuff. And I think like in essence, like a lot of us bodybuilders, like we're not normal people. Like we all have something about us that's like that is very different to the normal person. But I feel like there's people who are like, really put everything into the gym. Other people who, 3 years down the line, they'll be like, cool, what have I got from this? Or I'm really good at going to the gym.
Mm.
And it's like, cool, like that's great. But like what were you expecting would happen? Like did you think that if you, just put 100% into the gym that you would get a new job somewhere, people would start paying you all this money. But I think that's the thing is that like everything requires effort. And I think the cool thing about bodybuilding is it's something that will always give you a return on what you put into it. Like we can say that like, yes, once you get into like the higher levels, I think, there is a degree of subjectivity around it. But I would say for like most people, in your first few seasons of competing, like your improvements will all be objective. Like if you do your first show, then you get with a coach, you follow that process. At your next show, no subjectivity about it, you will objectively be better.
Mm.
Like you will have more muscle mass, you'll be more conditioned, you'll just be a better athlete objectively. And I think that's the thing that, like, oh, we can be like, oh, it's politics, like I'm just not what the judges were looking for with that thing. It's like, yeah, you can do that, or you can just go away for a year, come back, you will be better.
What you did?
And that's the cool thing I like about training and everything else with bodybuilding is that if you put in effort and like honest effort, like don't cheat on your diet, don't half-ass your training, all that kind of stuff, you will get better. And I think if you want to transfer that elsewhere, it's exactly the same. You put in the effort, you get better. I think that's a simple thing.
Yeah, it's very, very similar to what I was going to say. More or less the same. I was going to say it teaches you that you get out what you put in. Obviously not 100% because there's so many other factors with bodybuilding, genetics and all that. But generally, the harder you try, the harder you work and the more you try, the more return you're going to get, the better you're going to be. And like obviously I've seen it with bodybuilding because we all have. but I've applied it to other areas, and I've seen, like in business, the more invested I've been, the more the harder I've tried, the harder I've worked behind the scenes, the better my business has performed. The I did it with the fight, the fight. Like I applied that exact same mindset as I would in a bodybuilding prep, but I applied it to that. It's all the same. It's all the same thing. It just looks different. Business is the same. Bodybuilding is, it's all the same thing to me. It's just give it that. The problem people have is they don't have the same importance. They don't apply the same importance to other things because that's their favorite thing, and they can't. It's very hard to try as hard as you would for your favorite thing to something that's not your favorite thing. It's very hard to do that. Especially, I find it hard because I'm hyper focused, and I find it hard if I'm focused so much on one thing. I find it very, very hard to focus on other things. I've always struggled with that. So for me, if I am able to get myself passionate about something, it's not a problem. But yeah, with just that's what I've learned with bodybuilding. The more consistent I was, the more I tried, the more effort I put in, the more I got back, and then I've seen that same return on a whole lot of other things, and it's pretty cool. And that's part of why I get so frustrated with people that half-ass bodybuilding because I'm like, you don't know what you're missing out on if you just really try. I put a thing on my Instagram the other day. It was from another one we did with Denver, and I was like saying, like, if you just try once, just once, you will get so much out of that experience that goes so far deeper than the actual comp you're doing. Just from a personal development perspective, you're going to get so much from it. And yeah, I know you guys will understand that, but there's a lot of people that don't. But that's something I really learned, and you can apply it to literally everything. I mean, fuck, we could go on all day about.
Yeah, there's so much.
Yeah.
It's interesting, isn't it? It's interesting, like the four of us talking, and I kind of remember being at Chris's stage of my training life, or at Shay's stage of my training life, where the best thing that I got out of bodybuilding was that it taught me how to really work at something, break it down into its parts, and then just do step 1, step 2, step 3. And when I'm coaching people, often what I'll do is I'll try to break it down to I always break it down to its simplest form and say, if you can just tick these boxes, we're going to get this result. But then at this stage of my kind of training and coaching life, my focus on, when I think back to what I got from it, the most like, yeah, okay, I learned all of those things. I developed the ability to do that. I understand the meaning of hard work. But the most important thing for me that came from lesson that I learned, and something that over time, you guys will get there, probably, is that you start to think about all the relationships that you made. Sometimes I meet people in bodybuilding and I think, gosh, they're so terrible at this interpersonal game that they're going to walk away not only unsuccessful at bodybuilding, but just unsuccessful in their lives. Yeah. Because they spend so much time not looking past their own eyelids to see the people around them, that they kind of miss out on so much. Whereas, what I would say with, I sat down with Chris and we had a really engaging conversation that probably could have gone on all day if we both weren't like, bro, we've got to go. Shay, exactly the same, very engaging. And, you have a professional work life, the same as, you and I, Jordan, you talk about like watching somebody go and working with them over time in a different scenario. I've known you since you were a teenager. Literally. And then I've seen you progress from this teenager who was like, kind of just so in love with bodybuilding. And I think that's what brought us together, is that we both have that same passion. And then seeing that, like, at different stages being like, oh, let's do this, let's do that. And then kind of like giving you a little bit of feedback along the way. And then seeing what you've done with, well, a bit more than a little bit of feedback, but yeah, okay. But then seeing what you've done with your life since then, like, it's so just to know that I had a part in that makes me so happy. Like, I almost feel like so proud of you because I knew you like as a kid, so it's kind of like I get all of those things. I think as you get a little bit older, you start to look at the and that's what I look at anyway. The sort of the relationships that you build, and then also you also meet you have lots of funny anecdotal stories about different people and different things that we can share a lot of laughs about, and we all do off this chat because we can't do them online.
I think
But
I
yeah,
would say bodybuilding's like I've met the best people and the worst people I know in
yeah,
this industry.
yeah.
But the relationship thing's funny, man, because I was telling Carter about it the other day. I was saying like there's a few people I help quite a bit with they're young and they're starting out as coaches, and I help them quite a bit. No, I don't do their work for them or anything, but they'll ask me questions and yeah, you're doing well. Yeah, do this. Oh, maybe you should, just little things. And I think like sometimes I'm like, and then I think of how much you used to help me, and that's why I do it, bro. Because I'm like, I have to return the karma. Like it
Yeah,
just,
yeah,
you know what I mean? But that's like,
yeah, yeah,
but that's like looking at like that's a relationship we had then. Like obviously we still have a relationship, but we had then.
yeah,
And because of the relationship we had at the time, that's making me do a good thing. Like that relationship was like when did I start? Because when I started coaching you, helped me a lot. I used to ask you questions all the time.
yeah,
And I was like, what, 20, 21?
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
12, 13 years ago. It was like that all the way back then, but I still remember that. So that makes me want to
Yeah,
like I'm okay with helping them, even though like people are like
yeah,
you shouldn't because it did, like they want to be coaches. I'm like, yeah, I know, but like I know what it's like to be there, and a lot of the time it's not even about telling what to do; it's just making them feel okay with what they're doing. Like
yeah, yeah.
they
I mean,
just
it's
need to be
listen
told,
with you. It
yeah,
was always just
you're
about
doing
being like,
well.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
just that reassurance because I think
yeah,
like
yeah,
you
yeah.
you helped me, a lot with my obviously you coached me, bro, for
Yeah,
ages. But when I used to ask you questions, a lot of the time, like about clients, a lot of the time it was just, yep, sweet. Like it wasn't, but it's
yeah,
just having that reassurance from someone that's you look up
yeah,
to.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, and I think that those. So that's what gives me the most joy is like the relationship that you build and thinking, well, if we weren't involved in this all together, none of us would know each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is our, and it's that thing about bonding over some kind of common ground, which that's what I really enjoy about. That's what I really enjoy about bodybuilding.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Anyway, guys, it was great. Great talking. It's good to be back. I don't know how often we'll do these. We'll try and do them as
how
consistently.
long's it been? A year?
Been fucking ages, bro. I keep getting people asking me when you're gonna do it. So anyway, what I want to say before I wrap up. If you're one of the people that has been asking me when this is gonna come back, or if you want us to keep doing this, you need to share this stuff. You need to comment. You need to share it. You need to like, don't just message me and say, "Oh, that was awesome." I don't care. I don't want your message. I don't want your DM. Publicly say it. Your coach won't care. It's okay. They won't get upset because it's really annoying. Like how long have we been talking for? Hour and a half? It's an hour and a half of our Sunday. Um, we're happy to do it, but there needs to be a bit of like, it's not much to ask. That's
Yeah.
all I ask is you like the video, you share it, leave a comment, and that's all good. You don't need to message me and thank me. It's fine. All these guys, Anyway,
We
that's what I
good.
wanted to say. That's what I wanted to say because it's kind of annoying. But if it does get shared around, it does get a bit of like traction, we'll do more. If it doesn't,
Yeah, yeah.
it's a waste of time. What's the point? We don't know. We think like we may as well just ring each other up and talk because no one gives a shit. That's how it feels. And maybe no
And then
one
we can
does
say
care. Maybe
and
no
then we
one
can say
does. But yeah,
And then we can say what we want to say, right? Like we can talk about all the stuff we want to talk about.
yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Fine.
we'll get there. There's a time that'll all come out.
At all.
It'll be a different. It'll be a different podcast, and we'll all have masks on and disguise our voices.
Anyway, guys,
Anyway, very good
it's
to
a
catch up,
pleasure.
everyone.
I'll see you next
Yeah.
week.
See you.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Real life, real talk, never fall, we ain't doing that. Want me fall off, but I can't, I'm just too attached. I was so lost, I ain't going back. Never fall, we on the road.